Star Fox fans rejoice because GameXplain posted over 20 minutes of footage from Star Fox Zero, showcasing boss battles, the game's hard mode, and tons more. There's a playlist of videos that you can find embedded in our article, or of course you can find the videos on their channel as well. And then both Star Fox Zero and Star Fox Guard got a new trailer, a slew of new screenshots, and some other minor gameplay details were announced. So, you can check that stuff out at Gamnesia if that interests you as well.
One piece of information that I've heard from people who have access to the game already that you two might be interested in is that apparently there's a control setup where the motion controls are disabled unless you're holding down the ZR button.
Interesting.
And I know since you guys didn't really care for the motion controls, at least in the way they were always on at the demo we played, I think that might work better for you guys.
But you have to be holding down the ZR button at all times?
Only when you want to use the gyro controls.
Oh.
They're not, the motion controls are disabled if you're not holding down ZR.
When you hold down ZR with gyro controls enabled, does that give you no gyro controls?
I don't think so. I think this is an extra mode for people who want the more traditional Star Fox control scheme.
Okay.
But then at the same time, they've said
you can get the refined gyro controls for those moments that really need it.
Right.
Okay.
Like when an enemy is kind of out of the frame of your normal aiming, radius.
That sounds like a really good compromise.
I think that'll alleviate a lot of you guys' concerns. Hopefully, it'll make the game easier to get into for people who struggle with the controls.
Sure.
And
now the question is, why not just make that the main mode?
Having
My God.
not had the trouble you guys had with the default controls, I can definitely see why that's not the main mode.
Well, for me, it was less about the motion controls and more about the screen switching, the forced screen switching was what messed with me.
Yeah, well, because you needed to use the motion controls for a lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand, but it was really just jarring to have to be forced to look back and forth because the camera literally makes you do it. So
yeah, agreed.
I'm also hearing that that's not so much the case in the final game. So
that's good. That's actually great to hear.
Yeah,
you can still target bosses, but you're not required to. So
cool.
That'll be good.
Cool. Hello everybody, thank you for listening to this Nintendo Week clip, NWC. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more highlights and discussion videos from Nintendo Week podcast, or subscribe to us on iTunes for weekly breakdowns of all your Nintendo news, discussion segments on subjects, games, and more, and tons of other features. Thanks for listening, and we will see you tomorrow with another NWC.